morning, Chef Tom Colicchio. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. You're here today to tell my readers about game day and how to have fun with their family and friends. And also fun day. I call it that. In case everyone's not into the game, they're into the food, right?
We hope so.
I hope so. And also about your Sour Cherry BBQ chicken wings. That sounds delicious. So go right ahead and tell us what you're preparing for us.
Well, we prepared our sour cherry chicken wings. And so the sauce, we start with some onion, some garlic, a little ginger, lime juice, some vinegar, and then sour cherries, and let that cook until it forms a glaze. And then we roast our chicken wings in the oven. We season it with salt and pepper. Make sure they're really, really dry before they go in the oven. And then we roast them, and then we glaze them with the cherry barbecue sauce.
That sounds delicious. That sounds delicious. And what do you suggest that other recipes do you suggest for the game day? Are there other things that to make it more memorable and fun, and also not just the game day, for any day?
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, there's other dishes that I make. I do a dish that has red onion. You cut them into like sort of 1-inch rings and roast them with some shishito peppers and lime juice and some chili crunch, and then toss that all with a bunch of mint and cilantro, and then either beef or chicken or even pork that you could just roast separately and then cut into pieces and toss it. It's almost like a big kind of salad of sorts. But then the major difference though with the chicken. Let's go back to the chicken for a second. Is that I'm using Do Good chicken. So Do Good it's a new brand, and what we do is we take food that would normally get thrown in the garbage from supermarkets, from large supermarkets. We collect it, and then we actually process it and turn it into feed for the chickens that we're growing. And so we can actually, all that food that would end up in a landfill turns into methane, which contributes to greenhouse gases, which leads to climate change. And so we can combat climate change just by simply choosing to use a different chicken. And so I would ask that anyone cooking for the big game on Sunday, that make a different choice and just buy a Do Good chicken, and you can feel good about that you're doing something to combat climate change while you're eating some great tasting wings. Well,
it has a good name, right?
Yeah.
It's doing good. I have a question for you. Can the readers find this chicken easily?
Absolutely. If you go to dogoodchicken.com and you put in your location, a retailer, it'll tell you where the retailer is in your region that you can purchase it. Absolutely.
Oh, good, because a lot of times you want to purchase this and you can't almost get anything online. That's true, but if you want to go in the store, sometimes it's hard to find. So that's wonderful that you can find it in your neighborhood.
Yes.
Now, what are some easy ways to make this less stressful, to prepare and enjoy the day as well as, to participate with your guests and not just be in the kitchen the whole time?
Well, the key word, you mentioned it, is prepared. Start early. Start at least a day before. For instance, this glaze can be made 3-4 days in advance. You can make sure your chicken, especially if you want crispy chicken, make sure you get it out of the package and lay it out, put it in the refrigerator, but uncovered so it dries out, and that'll make sure it's crispier. But you could do a lot of different preparation. If you're doing salsas and things like that, if you want to make it from scratch, do it the day before. I try to just make sure that everything is prepped, ready to go. And this way, while I'm cooking, I don't want to have to use a knife anymore. I want to have everything prepped and put aside. And so you can get all that preparation done the day before. I mean, I suggest this for anybody cooking, not only for a big game, but for any time that you're having guests over the house. Get that prep out of the way. Yeah, get all that prep out of the way, and this way you can spend time with your guests. Because that is what's important.
Now, your sour cherry wings, that sour cherry sounds like you can use it on other things as well.
Absolutely. Maybe yeah, sure.
Tofu or pork or even beef.
It can be used for anything, absolutely. And you can even mix it with sour cream or yogurt and turn it into a dip as well. That's kind of what we have right here, yeah.
And now you said crisp chili. Are you talking about that new... Well, it's not new. Probably not new, but it seems to be making a big splash social media, the chili crisp?
Chili crisp, yes. Not new. It's been used in Korea or Thailand for centuries, but it is all of a sudden very, very popular. I have about 5 or 6 different brands myself. Plus we make it.
Like me.
Plus we make it as well at the restaurant. So yeah, they're all very different. Some of them have this one particular one that I love has anchovy and a lot of fennel in it. Others have a lot of garlic.
One like that, and I said, "Oh, this has a little bit of a fish taste."
Yeah,
and then and my son can eat it. He loves it on everything, including eggs. So I'm glad that you explained that.
Yeah, we put it on everything. There's a jar on the table pretty much every night, which also works well in this recipe if you want to actually spice it. There are Serrano chilies in here, but if you can't find Serrano chilies and you have a jar of Chili Crunch, by all means just put it in the sauce.
Yes, and people shouldn't fear it because it's not as spicy as it sounds, but it's just spicy enough.
Yeah, I have one that's actually very mild, and it's really roasted, so there's a lot of roasted pepper flavor, but it's not spicy, and it also has almonds in it, but it's not spicy at all. Yeah.
Well, I think that sounds delicious. So where can people go to find out more about you and your recipes and how to prepare and make life easier?
Well, you can go to, there's a bunch of recipes on the Do Good Chicken site, so dogoodchicken.com. For mine, I think you can go to craftrestaurants.com and see what's going on with all of our restaurants.
And also, I see that you are a fellow Long Islander.
I have a house in Long Island. That is correct, yeah.
That's where I am.
Oh, good.
It's nice to meet a fellow Long Islander and to speak with you.
Likewise.
So, and they could go to Do Good Chicken to find out where to buy these chickens. So, and enjoy and help themselves, and like you said, help the planet and everything else.
Right.
And your recipes sound delicious.
Thank you.
And people should just enjoy the day and.
I agree. Just go out there with friends and enjoy. Have a great Sunday.
Enjoy the food and the time and make memories. So it's so nice meeting you.
Likewise.
And thank you for visiting with Living the Gourmet.
Of course.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a wonderful day and a beautiful Sunday coming up.
You too.
Thank you.